Thanks everyone, good evening. For the opening days of taking office, we have to deal with three major issues that have been an intense learning period and why, as your student representatives, we fight for you. The controversial retirement of our former principal and the work done to ensure that it didn't affect your learning and teaching. The introduction of RUK fees and why introducing the market culture is damaging to our education. And the proposed forced merger. Defending the existence of our education by shouting about why what we receive at Abertay is so vital to us, to this city and to society. We fought for a university based on our students' right to access higher education isn't restricted to their affluence or social background, and we should reach out to those that have the ability to flourish at university. We fought so that students receive adequate support once they're in university, whether that be financial, academic or other welfare issues, so that the deplorable dropout rates in this country are reversed and not exacerbated. We fought so that you achieve well in education we fought so that what you achieve well in education is supported and celebrated, and we have won at the highest levels. As we campaign so intensely and realise what we fight for you as Abertay students, we can now look at where this university is honouring the vote of confidence that we placed upon this university. Does it listen to us on matters that affect our education? Are we receiving adequate support to assist us combat the pressures of studying? Are the decisions made that affect our education and our experience at Abertay University, do they hold the students in mind? I would answer not enough. Not enough to merit the vote of confidence you gave into this university. Now yes, it has been and still is a challenging time to be at university, but this is a significant opportunity for us to change things for the better. Our education, our welfare and our employability goes at the heart of my manifesto, my pledge to you. And it is where I wish to use the undoubtedly formidable campaigning ability of you in the Student Association to improve your experience at Abertay, and that fight must have students at the heart, as that is where we have drawn most, if not all, of our successes. We should follow up our campaign to enhance your education. Many students I've talked to have been saying that feedback they receive has been inconsistent and late, and the truth is that the university do not know what it is that students want, and for too long the Students Association have not sought to sort this out, and our campaigns at the university remedy this, understands what students require for feedback and deliver on it. Abertay successfully recruits students from underprivileged backgrounds, but what use is increasing the numbers of students from underprivileged backgrounds if the support isn't there to prevent them from ending up with the scrap heap? If re-elected, I will campaign nationally to ensure that the Scottish Government uphold its commitment to a £7,000 a year student living wage so that our hardship funds can be enhanced, and also that Abertay upholds its commitment to extend that hardship fund to nursing students who so far do not receive any additional funding at times of hardship. Our welfare also stretches to accommodation, and I will ensure that a tenancy deposit scheme is implemented, saving students in your flats £200 a month. This election is about leadership as well as policies. If you have faith in the calls we've made to protect your education, and if you have confidence in our ability to keep the issues and concerns of students' education and welfare at the heart of our fight, then I hope you have faith in myself to serve for one more year as your president. Vote William Auchty number 1 for Students' Association President. Thank you.
Hi there folks, I'm Simon. I'm the current Vice President of the Student Association, and I'm running for President. It wasn't an easy decision to run for President. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, but I honestly wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think that I was the right person to lead at Abertay in the future. I'm not going to go on about what I've done this year as Vice President, other than to say that I pledged 5 things in my manifesto last year and I've accomplished 4 of them. And hopefully before the end of the year, the 5th one will be well on the way to happening. And I'm quite proud of that. I'm not going to give a spiel. It would be easy to stand here and use buzzwords. It would be easy to stand here and say, you should vote for me because I'm a strong leader, because I'm the right candidate. I'd rather not use buzzwords. I'd rather run through some of the things that I want to do next year. I have plans for this place, and that's what I want to put into place. On funding, I want to continue to lobby the university to give us more money. We are repeatedly shown to be the most underfunded student association in Scotland, and yet we do stellar work. We saved the university this year. The principal has told us as much, but yet they still won't give us more money. We're now in a stronger position than we've ever been to go forward with that. We have real factual evidence, we have case studies, we have things that we can show them that giving us more money will enhance the student experience at Abertay, and that's something that we need to be doing. On communications, I'm going to make sure that the website design that I've already started is fully rolled out in September, and that we have a brand new website that actually engages students, unlike the current one, which is dreadful. I'm sure you'll agree if you've ever been on it, and hopefully we'll be on it next week in order to vote. I want to make sure that the essay goes out. I want to make sure that every student on campus knows who we are, that you can get FaceTime with us, that we're doing regular surgeries, be it here in Aroma, be it in halls, be it in the university itself. Make sure that people knows who we are and knows that they can come to us with their problems, and probably more importantly knows what we do on a day-to-day basis so that they can hold us account for that. On the class rep structure, any of you who are society committee will know this year that I've, over the summer, completely revamped how the societies worked. I want to do the same thing this year with the class reps. I want to revamp how the structure works. There's a lot of room for improvement, especially with regards to training. At the minute we have one class rep training day, and that's not good enough. If you can't make one day, you don't get training. That's not good enough. On sports, sports is always a topic at Abertay that's controversial. I don't want to improve sports for the sake of the sports teams. I want to make sports available to everyone. I want to work on recreational sports, and I want to use sports as a tool to improve physical and mental well-being of all our students. Like I said, folks, I'm not running on a platform of personality. I'm not running on a platform of vague ideas. I'm not going to promise you jobs. I'm not going to promise you more money in your pocket. What I am going to promise you is real ideas that I have a vision for and that I'm going to implement next year. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Andrew Southwood. I'm a fourth year forensic science student here at Abertay. I'm running for Vice President because I want to ensure that all students here have a smooth and beneficial learning experience, as well as enjoying their time here at the university. I've worked within the university for the past 3 years. One of those years I worked in the library, and 3 of them I've worked for student services. 2 of those years I've worked as an intern for for the International Student Advisor. Throughout working within the university, I have made some lasting relationships with members of staff within registry, student recruitment, accommodation, and so I've got a lot of experience. I'm good friends with a lot of them as well. So I know that if elected, then I've got the right. I know the right people in the right roles. I don't want to make promises that are massive that I know for a fact that I'll not be able to keep. So I'm just going to start off with doing small stuff within the association and then try making bigger changes. One of the main points I want to do is invest in teaching and learning facilities across campus. A lot of money has already been invested in some areas of the university, but I know for a fact that there are other areas within the university that also need funding, and like some labs need changed and updated. As a student and as a fourth year honours student and doing my project just now, I know that the library opening hours aren't the most ideal, and fair enough they've extended them as of Monday just there till 2 o'clock in the morning, but I had exams and everyone else had exams around Christmas time as well, and there was no extension then. So I've worked in the library, and I know the head of the library too, and I can speak to them hopefully to get extended opening hours at different times, and also lab opening hours for those students that need the lab services within the university and can't access them in the library. I've noticed over my 4 years here that every Freshers Week and other events throughout in the union the student engagement and involvement has decreased. So I'm trying to think of ways that I could hopefully increase student engagement within the union and the university itself. I know that I've not been in the exec, so I don't know what other things have arisen, but if any issues do arise, I want to ensure that they will be addressed as soon as possible. As it says in the union, it's your student association and your voice, and I want to be one of the people that represents your voice across campus. So play your cards right and vote for me, Andrew Southwood, for Vice President.
Hi everyone, my name's Eamon Laird. I've been at Abertay for 3 years now. Every year I've been engaged with the Student Association in one way or another. My first year was a class rep, the last 2 years I've been an exec. And overall I think I know what our students need and what our Student Association needs, and so I think I'm ready to take us into the future. Now I could sit here and go through my manifesto saying I'll fight to improve our funding for the Student Association, which I will. I'll work extremely hard as Vice President, taking over for societies to improve their financial state and ensure a better well-being source, and I will do all this, but you can read that in my manifesto you can ask us questions later on. What I do just now is show you what I've done recently in the past, how me as a character will do well as a Vice President. As an individual, I've demonstrated my commitment as an exec to be there and to do work, to help with our student association and defend its assets. It's one thing to say we're against something, and it's another thing to actually stand up and do something against it. It's one thing to say you will do something, and it's another to say you'll actually go and do it. Well, I'm someone who will stand up against something that is wrong. I'm someone who will do something about it. I don't just say I'm against it and go and sit in the background and watch as other people do their jobs and try and do something. I'll actually be in the middle of it. I'll actually make an effort, stand up, do something, make my voice heard and make your voice heard. Whether it be cuts in fees, whether it be the welfare of students, whether it be something as simple as library opening times, lab opening times, or any wee minor issues that may arise, I will be there. I've marched in London, I've been in Glasgow, Dundee, fighting for the rights of our fellow students down south, ourselves against the merger, our great campaign against hands off. I've marched against our lecturers, against our pay cuts, true assets, our university, which will damage the advancement of our education. We've not always won, but I've always been there. Back up what I've said with action, not just with words. And if you elect me for the Vice President, I can assure I will be there for you. I'll be there for our students at the local level, the national level, wherever, whenever, I will be there. Please vote for Eamon Laird for Vice President.
Hi there, I'm Scott McBurney and I'm running for a seat on the Executive Committee, as you know. I'm a second year social science student, and those of you who are at the SRC beforehand will know I also hold the chair for the Student Representative Council. This has been useful for me because it's allowed me an insight into how the union works, and it means if elected, although in youth base, I won't be coming to the position unprepared. If I had to sum up my political persuasions, I'd say that I'm a liberal person. I'm ultimately a working class student, which means that every single word of my manifesto, everything I'll be pushing for if an exec will be geared towards the interests of the students of Abertay University. There's loads of things I want to do in my manifesto which I'm sure you'll find better reading yourself. I want to provide assistance for students when dealing with unjust landlords. For too long now I think that landlords in Dundee have gotten off with giving students a raw deal and treating them as second-class citizens for no other reason than they are students. And I think the union should be on hand to provide support for students when dealing with unjust landlords. I want to tackle student poverty because I think that the student poverty records in Scotland are something that we shouldn't be too proud of. We've got a 9.2% dropout rate in Scotland, which is the highest in the UK, and I think that Abertay should be doing its bit to tackle that dropout rate. And as an ex-dropout myself who's changed course, I think I'm the right person to do that. I want to fight any proposed tuition fees, mergers, education cuts, as I'm sure everybody here does. I think that the union done a brilliant job last year with the Hands Off Abertay campaign. I think the battle was won last year, but the war continues. We need to keep on top of that. Also, I want to provide as much assistance as I can for the gay, lesbian and bisexual community in Abertay. At present, we have an LGBT society who do a grand job, but I think the union can do just a little bit more to help them. And please do quiz me on that later on. I've only got 2 minutes to speak to you here, so I can't go into great detail. But as I say, please do quiz me. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Brett. Originally I'm from New Jersey. I lived there for 14 years. I've been in this country for 6. I got dual citizenship. Yep, that's a little bit of background about me. I think I've moved around quite a lot throughout my life so far. Lived across Scotland, lived in a little bit of England, spent some time in America, been around a little bit. I think that's helped me as a person. I really know how to communicate with people quite well. And that's one of the main things I want to focus on as my sort of campaign manifestos for getting me elected as a student executive. I think that we can improve a lot of the communication that goes on within Abertay. First of all, from the second that new students like join in Abertay, basically from freshers. I want freshers to have a lot more energy. Like the students that come in for freshers they're the next generations of students. They're, in 1 or 2 years' time, they're going to be in our positions. So we really have to encourage them, and we have to build them up with enthusiasm to improve the future for themselves. I think we can do that in a number of different ways, mostly by promoting an incredibly social atmosphere. We want more events within courses themselves, between courses. For example, in the School of Computing, one of the main things is that I'm I'm essentially a game designer, and we don't meet a lot of the programmers until third year. And I think there are other things like that we can do that without outwit the school, using other resources around Dundee. And I want to keep everything fair for students, and just make everything better so that we can all get along. We're all working towards a common goal.
Very much.
I'm James. I'm a determined SA member and an infrequent Bill Bailey impersonator, apparently. I've got a whole load of notes here that I'll probably address in more detail on my Facebook page, which you can find if you go to the Executive Election website, hopefully. The main points I'd like to touch on are student media, which has been a heavy feature of this campaign. I think that indicates just how important it is. The other thing I'd like to address is, it's been pointed out this is an all-male campaign. That's true, however, I don't think that means that just because I happen to be male, I can't represent women. I don't think that means that I can't represent anybody. I think I can represent everyone. I think that's the way everybody should be. You know, why can't I understand issues? I can talk to people just as well as anyone else. Student media is a major thing for me. I think it's a tool that will really engage. I would also like to encourage you, before I run out of time, that to vote for two of my fellow people here, Richard and Kev, who have yet to speak. Their policies mesh very well with mine, and I think that the three of us together could work really well. Yeah, as I say, there's a whole load of things here, and if I had 25k, I wouldn't spend it on a minibus. I'd start by spending it on storage facilities for student societies, and there'd still be a lot left over after that to spend on other things. There you go.
Thank you very much. Hi guys, going to very quickly run over some of the previous work I've done. Obviously I'm running for the second term now, so I have got that background of experience. First off, obviously Hans of Abertay. You've probably bored silly of it by now, but right from the start I was working on the website for the campaign, which in the first SRC back in October I received a vote of thanks from the SRC. As well as I was attending things like the October 1st People First March, getting directly involved in campaigning against it. As well as this, I've done a lot of work helping societies through things like going to the training day and showing them how to use many sites, helping with Christmas fair, and even at a more basic level of helped the Games Interest Group with their AGM. So this year I've got three main campaigning points, which can be defined as communication, activities and accommodation. The reason I've chosen these is they drive engagement whilst helping students socially and academically. I'm going to each one very, very quickly now. Communication, it has been an area of improvement. We went through social media, went through websites, lots of things like that. So I'd be looking to carry on building on that using Twitter, Facebook. I think the use of Facebook questions is something that very recently done and is a good idea. As Simon said earlier, looking to refresh the Student Association website would be a great idea for driving engagement. The survey it's a great thing. We've finally got the opinion of all the students in one place, and it would be stupid to not take that into account quite seriously. Finally, on a very, very basic level, it seems kind of obvious that we should be out in the streets talking to people, and I would like to do that a lot more. Activities then. Societies are definitely on the up. That's been said in questions, it's been said by Simon, it's been said all over. So the training day, at the moment our training day had a lot of focus on getting feedback from society presidents. Look more at actual training during the training day. And finally, on accommodation, the manifesto says it all. Accommodation is going to be the biggest thing on your brain when you're around about this time, and generally all year, so it should be the biggest thing on ours. You should be looking to get information up to help you avoid the pitfalls that I've mentioned with rogue landlords. So with clearance and experience, I hope that you would vote to bring back Brian for the student executive. Thank you very much, Brian.
Hi, I'm Richard Cook, and I'm a media, culture and society student, and I've been the class rep for that course for 2 years now. I was going to talk more about myself, but it seems we don't have much time, so I'm just going to let my policies do the talking. I want to also introduce media, because we all know the benefits of media, but the difference for me is that we need a digital form of a digital platform for a digital university. With an online medium or a magazine, for instance, we'll be able to have a wider readership, because we could actually email each and every person in each student. Also, it's virtually costless. One of the problems with doing print is that there's not enough students to go around and nobody's going to buy it and it's going to cost it. But if it's online, we don't have to spend that much. Secondly, and this is the apparently controversial one, we want to try to make specific roles, more accurate roles within the student association. That way we can reduce confusion as to what it is the students the association actually do and increase transparency. It can also lead to a better organisation of what's going on because roles will be prescribed, therefore there will be better assignments to each student person. And lastly, I want to try to rejuvenate the garden that you see in the Dundee Business School. It's in a bit of a dire state, and one of these days it's actually going to have to be tidied up, and why not this year?
Hi there, how you doing? My name's Kev Rooney. I'm a second year law student and I'm standing to be one of your 6 executives. I'm going to race through this. I thought I had 3 minutes, but I've only got 2. If elected to the executive, I can bring a number of qualities to the table. First of all, my communication. I can effectively and coherently present our point of view. I've done this before in the Hands Off Abertay campaign. Along with William, I presented a deputation to Dundee City Council. Another aspect being my ability to work as part of a team. Teamwork will be crucial in our future success, and I'm pretty sure I've worked with everybody here today. As it stands, I have very good knowledge of the Student Association, good knowledge of its constitution. I can gain experience from the founding and running of Abertay Labour Society. Like every other candidate here, there's a couple of progressive ideas I'd like to bring in. First of all, is to improve the representation of students. I think we can do this. I want to do this by being your go-to guy. If anyone has any issues or any problems, you can come to me, and I can be your voice in the executive. I also want to try and improve what societies can offer students. Even if we can achieve something as changing how we advertise events, I think if we can increase student participation, we'll find that final product's better quality. Hopefully we can also develop societies through the introduction of the accreditation scheme. I'd also like to push for greater media presence. I think we should re-evaluate a magazine, even if this is only online. We should also push for Abertay Radio as well. Along with this, I'd like to support the Tayside Police drop-in sessions, Abertay Arrive, and bringing the national football campaign to Dundee. If you take nothing from this, please remember one thing. I'm here to represent you. I think I'm the best candidate to represent everybody here to the fullest. Vote Kev. Thank you.